everybody. I think it's time to start. So I wanted to welcome everybody to this great day. And the weather couldn't have been better, so it must be very auspicious. So we're so happy everybody could come and help us.
I don't think your microphone is working.
It's not working? How's that? Is that better? Yes. Okay, I'll just have to get it closer. Thank you, Pam.
Probably turn the volume up too.
So, welcome to the opening of our new accessibility wing at the Castleton Free Library. We're so excited to be completely accessible to everyone, including everybody from people with total mobility issues to people who just have to wear an ankle bracelet because their foot hurts when they go to bed at night. So I have a couple people I want to thank. I want to thank, first of all the patrons who have been so patient during this process. I'm really happy that you put up with it and all the inconveniences, so I wanted to say thank you. Second, I'd like to thank all of our library volunteers, some of them who couldn't be here today. I would, let's see, Sue DeCarolis and Norman DeKeller, and our newest one, Christine Morgan, our, let's see, I think Thursday, Mary Waite and Libby Laramie, and Joan Eaton, and then we've got, am I missing anybody?
Sally.
Sally's retired. She was going to get a special mention at the end, but I would love to say thank you to our newly retired volunteer, Sally Grace, who has been with us for years and years and years, and we really appreciate all her work. In fact, I'm still putting her to work. I'm taking books for her at home to catalog for us. Thank you for doing that, Sally. And then let's see, we have Joan Eaton, and then we have Cindy Martin, we have Holly Hitchcock, and we've got Joan Thomas, Joyce Thomas, and oh my gosh, I hope I got everybody. But anyway, thank you to all of our volunteers we could not be running this library without them. So can we give a round of applause to all of our volunteers? And then I'd like to thank Sharon Levitt-Graff, our wonderful children's librarian. And unfortunately, our leaving children's librarian, and I'm very gutted about it, but I know she's going to have fun in Connecticut, back in Connecticut. And our new incoming children's library, Miss Pam Arell. So we're looking forward to starting a new chapter with Pam, and everybody just stay in touch and keep involved with the library, and you'll hear about lots of fun things that are happening, lots of new things. Lastly, I have to thank, well, it's actually not lastly. I also want to thank all the previous people who have worked on this project, because this has not been happening just for the last couple of years. This has been happening for a decade or more. So all of the people that started the initial campaign committees, even the Friends of the Library in the 70s, this has been an ongoing project. I have a little brief history of the library, so you will see how long it took them to actually build this building initially in 1928. I want to thank a lot of the board members who are, even the board members who are no longer on the boards, who worked hard to try to get some of this stuff off the ground in the past. I know it's been a long, and a lot of effort from a lot of people. So thank you to all those people working hard in the background for many, many years. And then lastly, I would like to thank our Board of Trustees, from Pat Keller, who's been doing all kinds of wonderful groundwork just the past couple days, who has been doing all of the grant work. And, I know what it's like to come in on something, that you've never done before and having to learn from scratch. And he's been doing an amazing job of taking care of all that. Sue DeCarolis, our lovely treasurer, Pat Schrader, who unfortunately can't be here today. Thank you to Pat, and then Holly Hitchcock, and who am I forgetting?
Nancy.
Yes, I was saving her for last. But I got everybody else before Nancy. And specific thanks and big thank you to Nancy Mark, who has really just put all of her time and effort into this the last few years to make this a big reality. And so, yes, thank you, Nancy. We really appreciate it. So just quick couple of housekeeping things. There is music on the top floor, so please feel free to take our elevator up to the top floor and go listen to some great music. There are refreshments up there. There's cider and fruit and vegetable platters. Thank you to the Friends for donating some lovely snacks for upstairs. And downstairs, we're serving cake and coffee and other beverages. So pick your poison and go have fun. Enjoy the music and
I will in mine.
have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. And here's, I want to introduce our chairperson for the library board, Nancy Mark. She's going to make a few remarks too. Thank you.
Well, Mary, don't go anywhere. Yes, that's our TV. I don't know.
I don't know. Is this on? You just hold it. Okay.
Hold it. Oh, you know how I love doing that.
Okay. I'll hold it. How about if I
No,
hold
it's
it?
okay.
Okay, you got it. The speak. They had there. There you go. Out of it.
I want to say, before Mary goes away and doesn't receive thanks, we have so much to thank you for, Mary. You have been resilient for this process and flexible and supportive, and you organized everything so we could still come in our library while the construction was going on. In any case,
Thank you.
we are so grateful for
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you.
And so I have the task of, a wonderful task of trying to remember all the donors, all the people that made this possible. Isn't it great to have so many that you hope you can remember everybody? All right, I have my handler over here. Oh, I'm going to start with Tom O'Brien, our architect, who's here, and Alex Gauthier, pardon me, I'm sorry, and Earl Laviana from Giancola Construction. He's over there modestly standing in the grass, which he was tending to last night, wanted to be sure everything was right. And that's the way both of our architect and our construction company have handled this. They've been very respectful and flexible and embraced the fact that these are volunteers trying to do this. I think this is a good time to honor Jonas Rosenthal, who is not here. He died about a year ago, and he really inspired so much of the grants. He told us, well, you can do this grant and you can do that, and here's who to call. And it was he donated so much of his own community, passion for community, to this project. And those of you who know him know that he did a lot for many towns, and he did a lot for us. And Jonas, thinking of you. And we also want to acknowledge Bruce Williams, who was our clerk of the works. And he was just on the job, helping to make sure that everything was going according to plan. So we were inspired by grants. As Mary said, we applied for numerous grants. And some of the first ones were just so heartening. The Alma Gibb Staunton Foundation, I don't know if Holly's here. I was hoping she would be here. Maybe she's coming. But the Alma Gibb Staunton Foundation, the Hills and Hollow Fund from the Vermont Community Foundation, that made us know, okay, people care about this. They really are going to donate their time to this. And so with those things under our belt, I think it was Jonas, or maybe you, Tom, who said, well, there's Vermont Community Development Program money. You should apply for one of those grants. And so we did. And that was $100,000. And I am pleased to say that we wouldn't be here if we hadn't checked off, all the items on that list and done it with a lot of help a lot of guidance from the consultant. I don't know if Patrick Sheld is here, but he was so patient and held our hand through all of the paperwork that we submitted. The next, the next grant that again was very inspiring, and actually it was a gift. It was a congressional earmark, which I guess I shouldn't call it gift. I guess there's all kinds of.
I'll explain that.
Oh, okay, good. So Alex Avedano Lawrence is here representing Senator Sanders' office because, and I'll never forget the day when I opened the newspaper and saw that our library, the little Castleton Free Library, was getting $125,000 from Senator Bernie Sanders. And right. So Ethan would like to say a few words from representing Senator Sanders.
Thank you, Nancy. How's it going, everybody? Can you hear me okay? Yeah. So my name is Ethan Avendano Lawrence. I'm an outreach representative for Senator Bernie Sanders. It is so wonderful to be with you today. What a beautiful day. We couldn't have a better day to have this ceremony. So as Nancy had mentioned, and thank you so much, Nancy, for inviting us. Senator Sanders in fiscal year 22 was able to secure $125,000 for this project. And in a larger package of about $38 million that came to Vermont in fiscal year 22. Senator Sanders, of course, wishes he could be with you here today, but it is really an honor to speak on his behalf here. This elevator upgrade is an incredible example of why congressionally directed spending is so important and why Senator Sanders really believes in this as a way to make government work for everyday Vermonters and everyday people. Congressionally directed spending is a process that allows Vermonters to be able to apply to our office for what also sometimes is called earmarks, but we call it kind of CDS, for specific existing federal grant opportunities where we can include them in a larger spending package when the budget is passed. So, and in fiscal year 22, this was included in a lot of different other priorities and critical needs across the state, including wastewater infrastructure, housing and education, dental care and health care, and veterans and military personnel. And of course, very important among them, this elevator expansion. This was a real priority for Bernie because when we think about the role that libraries play in our state and across this nation, it's a critical part of social infrastructure. Sure, thank you. When we think about the role that libraries play in our nation and in Vermont, it is a critical part of social infrastructure. These are the kind of critical third spaces where people in the larger epidemic of isolation that Bernie talks about quite a bit, where people can come together, feel connected, feel seen, get some resources that they need, have a touchstone to keep going sometimes. And no other time was it necessarily quite as apparent as during the pandemic. So first of all, I want to say thank you, as a part of this, in this community of all these folks who have made this library so strong in what it is and continue to bring these things forward. Bottom of our heart, thank you very much for the work that you're doing. This is a perfect example of not only your work, but the collaboration we can have. Vermont Libraries showed up for Vermonters, and it's a critical connection for especially more rural communities as well. And I think if this elevator is an example of it's critical that everyone is able to take part in these services, and that this accessibility wing and the expansion in this project completion is a huge step forward in making this a reality. So on behalf of Senator Sanders and our office, congratulations. We were so happy to be partners with you in this. And thank you so much to Nancy and the whole Castleton Free Library team. It's wonderful to be here with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ethan, and of course extend our thanks to the Senator. It turns out that when you get an earmark or a congressional spending earmark, you
don't just get a check from Senator Sanders, which is what we kind of were hoping for, $125,000. Okay, good project, here you go. And what was behind the $125,000 was a USDA grant. And so once again, we sat down and tackled more paperwork and more conditions and more documentation. And again, we had people in that office who were so supportive. And Alex Gauthier is here from the USD office in Brattleboro. And I can't thank you enough for being so understanding and supporting us with our trials and errors and eventually this completion. Thank you so much. So you can hear that we've raised quite a bit of money, but because of rising construction costs and the whole supply chain problem, we did not have enough money to do this. And if it weren't for a bequest from the Denise E. Nangle Foundation to the Friends of the Castleton Free Library, this would not be possible. Because Denise loved libraries, and she was a patron here, a volunteer here, and it was in that spirit of the love of libraries that the Friends of the Castleton Free Library turned the $400,000 over to this project. And yes. So we have some representatives here. Yeah, thank you. And I thought we had one here, and Martha, thank you so much. We have, I think, such a remarkable. Mike. All right, I'm sorry. This day is remarkable, and I think no one finds it more remarkable than those of us who wrote the grants and kept our fingers crossed and all the library support. But again, it was the Denise Nangle that made this possible. And so I'd like to invite Denise's family. There's 2 members of Denise's family. I'd like to invite them up here. I think it's Linda and Leslie. And I know there's a lot, right. Well, we don't want to test the capacity of our elevator right now, but I'm hoping, yes. Pardon me?
Why don't we get the whole family up to the moment, and then you can send a small team.
Yeah, why don't we get all Denise?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we don't have everybody, but that's okay.
You know what, why don't we have her stand here, and then Leslie and Linda can cut the ribbon, so.
Yeah, that would be great.
Sharon, we'll have Sharon, you and Pam hold the ribbon, and Leslie, yeah, you guys can come out this way when you're ready, and then here's some scissors for you. Right where you are. And there's another pair of scissors for Linda.
They should be the outside.
No, there's in this inside.
Okay.
Inside.
Is that okay to be inside?
Yeah.
It's not open yet. Fancy.
Okay.
When you take the elevator and you will ride up
Okay.
into a new, beautiful lobby with an adjacent handicap access bathroom. But all of that main Library was supplied by another very generous donation from two enthusiastic, generous patrons who offered. What do you need? Well, we can help you out with that. And again, I think the whole library just represents this, our community and our commitment. And I thank you. Thank you for being here.
Should we do a countdown? Yeah. Sure. Okay, ready for a countdown?
You ready?
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I thought one of those sisters would be dull sorry about that, Leslie. Oh, thank you. Well, we're going to have a little, Leslie and Linda and Nancy, we're going to take the first elevator ride.
Oh, not me.
You're not going up? Oh, go Nancy, go Linda. You have to push the buttons. They're going to go on in. Go on in, Nancy.
If I don't come back,
Nancy. You guys have your cell phones, right, in case anything happens? All right. Yes. And now, as soon as you're ready, they're going to head up. We could see if we could race them up the stairs, but I think they're going to win. So thank you, everybody, again for coming, and enjoy the refreshments and enjoy the music. The Plum Bobs are playing upstairs on the main floor.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
I'm Alex Gauthier with the USDA Rural Development. I was a community program specialist on this project, Castleton Free Library Accessibility Project, which included an elevator installation. This project was certainly a unique project, however, it was a great entity and it's going to be an impactful project in the region. The board was great at administering the project. It's not an easy process applying to the USDA, however. They were great along the way. Tom O'Brien was the architect who was awesome on the project. The contractor was great as well. And this looks to be an impactful project for the community as it delivers accessibility to all those who need it.
I'm Nancy Mark, and I'm the chair of the Castleton Free Library. And I am here to celebrate the opening of our new lobby and elevator, providing the first access to the main floor for anyone with a handicapping condition. This is the first ever in its history. We've worked hard. It's been a lot of teamwork, working with the board and our librarian and our funders and our architect, Tom O'Brien, and our construction manager, who is Earl Laviana from Giancola Construction. So let me just show you what we're so proud of. This is a paved parking lot, which we haven't really had real pavement before. We will soon have striping that shows that some of these spaces are handicapped accessible and reserved for handicapped. We have a new beautiful walkway that allows us safe access for anyone with a wheelchair, anyone with a cane.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom O'Brien. I'm the architect for the new Castleton Free Library addition and alterations to the building. The project was recently completed just this week. It's all about keeping and making this building accessible to people of all ages and all abilities. So the library is now fully accessible to folks with handicaps and a variety of other conditions that needed that extra piece of access. The project's been going on for close to 20 years that the library has talked about doing something like this. It's taken a while to come to an agreement as to exactly what we would do. I've been fortunate to be involved with the library through most of that time. A little bit of work here and there. Once in a while we'd get together, we might draw a plan. But ultimately we got some momentum together just before COVID hit, and we're able to get the project started. We've put a new elevator. We've fixed the access to the building. We have handicap access all the way into the building now. And we have a handicap accessible restroom. And we've made a variety of other improvements to the inside of the building, rearranging furniture and doing a variety of small things that make it more accessible, more friendly, more usable by the patrons of the library. The folks at the library were wonderful to work with. I've done a lot of work over the years with communities and schools and libraries, and this is a group that really has kept their focus. They know what they needed and what they wanted. We resisted the urge to make the project bigger than they could afford, which is always difficult. It's always a challenge, particularly with COVID and the way costs have gone in the last few years. So they've been great to work with. They're a good group of people. The patrons here and the staff and the volunteers are really great. And it's been a good project all in all. And I am very happy to be here today. It's nice to see so many people here on site and to see everybody enjoying the library and riding the elevator. And it's a great benefit for the community. This is the kind of thing that makes small communities work well, because small communities oftentimes don't have much in the way of places in town that everybody can go to that are public, that support a variety of activities. And the library has always been way out in front in terms of computer access and public access to the computers, to internet. And that's something that the Castleton has been, I've been watching them do it for over 20 years. And they're really great at it. And it makes libraries central to the communities. And this is a project that really makes this library that much more usable and more friendly and more accessible to everybody in the community. Thank you very much. Congratulations to the library and to the town of Castleton.